As Prosper grows, construction grows with it. Will the never-ending orange signs and traffic cones ever go away? And Dr. Mike Goddard, the assistant superintendent, is in the studio. Volleyball and tennis both took on Wiley at Wiley last night. With more and more buildings being built, what new restaurants and stores are headed this way? Today, Wednesday, September 23rd, 2015.
From Prosper High School, this is Eagle Nation News with JT Graham, Ty Bowman, and Shaznay Hardeman.
Good morning, Prosper I. Welcome to another episode of Eagle Nation News. I'm JT Graham, and with me as always is Ty Bowman and Shaznay Hardeman. So guys, today's episode is going to be all about the growth and development of Prosper. I know from a personal standpoint, you know, I'm not a new kid, but I still moved here in 8th grade, and I was the only house in the back of my neighborhood I could see in front, behind, and to both sides. And now, not even 5 years later, there's not one house, you know, or piece of property left in like Willow Ridge is where I live, but I mean, it's completely filled out.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I moved here in the 8th grade too, but I think when I saw the most change was in my freshman year. Coming here, you know, there's 1,000 kids in the school, already a semi-big school. But
yeah, now it's 2,000.
Yeah,
right?
It's doubled, and it's incredible, honestly. So the change here is insane.
Yeah, and I remember, because I moved here in the 6th grade, I used to take Rock Hill Road to get to school. And so coming down that road, all you saw was acres and acres of land. And now coming down that road, all I see, you know, is new neighborhoods. And so I just think that's a drastic change from what it used to be.
Exactly, Shaz. And with those neighborhoods comes the hundreds and hundreds of homes that now we're accustomed to seeing built. Like, it seems like every week now.
Yeah.
But even from an athletic standpoint, I can say that I've seen the football program just in numbers just grow every single year. I mean, it seems like the next freshman class it's awesome to see. It really is. And I know you moving here in 6th grade, it must be a huge change from the Friday nights you used to see.
Yeah, it's different. One example would be the student section. Like,
it was
never,
so much.
it was never that big. So
yeah, we did not have that size even when I moved here. Well, growth and Prosper reaches new heights every day with more and more construction projects starting constantly.
Prosper has long been considered to be another small town in the ever-growing metroplex of DFW. Founded in 1914, in the past 10 years alone, Prosper has grown at an unprecedented rate.
There's so many changes. We were barely a Class 1A school. I will tell you that my son graduated in the 90s with like 40 kids in the classroom, and I had more than that in one of my leadership classes last year. His whole class fit into one classroom.
Although Prosper has changed drastically as of late, and some may say it's no longer a small town, most people stay consistent in their opinions of Prosper keeping that small town feel.
This morning was a prime example. I had the fortune of having our football players come and open car doors, and one of my students came up. I had 4 that I actually taught in kinder and 1st grade that are now on the football team, and they're like, "Miss Goggin, do you remember me? I was in your kindergarten class." And like, "Yes, but now you're huge, you're ginormous, and what happened?"
New residents moving in have a very unique perspective. Still getting the perks of living in a small town, but getting to experience the growth and the new commodities.
I actually do consider it to be a small town still, just being a local business owner, and I see several of the same, you know, friendly faces coming.
Our town is ever changing and shows no sign in a stoppage of growth. It's the people in our community that continue to make Prosper the special place that it is. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Ben Fine.
After this, we sit down with Dr. Goddard, and Khalil has a recap of the last night's tennis and volleyball action. Finally, we'll give you a heads up on some new restaurants and stories coming to town.
On the pavement, in the dirt, bruised and bleeding, but never hurt. I know why you put us down. Think it's time you take a look around. 'Cause maybe the time has come to change. A new direction, a different way. We can make it if we try.
Service.
And live in the studio with us today is Dr. Goddard. Dr. Goddard, thank you for being on the show today.
Thanks, JT. Appreciate y'all.
All right, so when Prosper's all built out, I mean, when everything's said and done, What's it going to look like?
Well, and that really, it depends on the timing as well as far as the growth goes. But I would imagine we'll end up with probably 4 to 5 high schools, which is tough.
Wow.
Yeah. And then really, depending on where we go with middle school, we could end up with 6, 8, 10 middle schools, and then 35 elementaries. But that's well down the line. You'll be bringing your kids back at that point, so it's probably 10, 15 years from now.
10, 15 years. I was going to ask, how long do you think it's going to take?
Yeah,
for us to
it'll
reach
be that way.
growth?
Well, we really have an advantage too because we've had some high growth areas, fast growth areas like Frisco or Allen. I grew up in Allen during my high school time, and Prosper's very similar. We really had one place. We hung out at the 7-Eleven. That was it. And
Sonic's the move.
that's it, Sonic. So it's kind of the similar situation, but really we had so much residential growth. For instance, when I was in Allen, that it was tough, and I know you guys have talked about it, and I've got a story coming up really about the commercial growth, but one of the things is that's got to catch up. You have to have rooftops and people in order for stores and commercial growth to want to be able to come and make money.
And that's something I say we definitely have plenty of residential growth.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's a well-known rumor that Prosper's going to be classified as a 6A school. Could you go into a little
Yeah,
bit
that's going to be really interesting as it comes up. At the end of October, what they have, the University Interscholastic League, the UIL, which is governing all of the sports and academics and bands, those kind of things, they have a snapshot date at the end of October. And in the end of October, they'll take a snapshot of what our current enrollment is at the high school, 9 through 12.
This October, right?
This October it'll happen. And so every 2 years they do that. And so we're coming on the end of those 2 years. And so the number tends to move all the time. It is like locked down Fort Knox. I mean, you don't know what that number is. We try to figure it out. But progressively it's been moving up. We're right on the cusp between a 5A and a 6A.
Oh, wow.
Where the last number was. Last year's realignment number was around 2,100. We currently right now have 2,106. And so we think that number is going to go up. So it's a great question to ask because if we go up 6-8, I think we'll be fine. We're very competitive. We've been preparing that in the middle schools and as we've been getting people going up. And it really depends on where you get districted. Some people are concerned about will we go into Allen or Plano and all those others. But
I can say I think athletically, there's a little fear.
Sure. But I think we'll be competitive. Just like this last time when we played Highland Park, it was a big 6A school, and so we should have won the game. And absolutely, like JT had a great game.
But I don't want to go into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to get him angry on the
All right,
camera,
thank you so much for being on the show.
Appreciate y'all.
Tennis is gaining momentum here at Prosper High with the varsity team continuing to outmatch its competitors. Volleyball also traveled to Wiley and swept them on their own turf. Khalil Adams will walk you through both outstanding games. Khalil?
Thanks, JT. The varsity tennis team won 17-2 against Wiley High last night, improving their record to 3-1. The Eagles take on state-ranked Lovejoy Leopards next Tuesday at their Prosper courts. Prosper Volleyball swept Wiley 3-0. They win their first game 25-16, second game 25-17, and the third game 25-17. And they had some outstanding stats from the game. Addie Miller had 4 aces, 13 digs. Abby Gargas had 3 aces, 17 kills, 7 kills, and 9 assists. 17 assists. Haley Kylinger had 12 kills and 2 blocks. Sydney Riggs had 7 kills, and Ashley Brown had 21 assists. Volleyball plays Sherman Friday and the Eagles next. They're still leading the district and are in top 10 ranked in the state and nation. Back to you, JT.
Thanks, Khalil. We have some great restaurants here in Prosper. I know JC's has been hit, and as the town grows bigger, the restaurant scene can only get better.
With Prosper's outstanding growth in the past 3 years, people expect to see more businesses arise. I sat down with Robert Winningham to give us some insight on the new developments.
The northeast side will develop first, and it will have, I know everybody loves this, Chick-fil-A will be one of the first restaurants there, and Dick's Sporting Goods is there, and some other Chili's, Texas Roadhouse, and other restaurants right now are literally signing up. And then of course at 423, FM 423 and 380, we've got a Kroger going there, and some other big retail going at that intersection. Well, I would say that Blue Star is probably the biggest one so far on the books. They'll probably put in excess of $1 billion of development once it's all completed on both sides of Preston Road. So it will include new retail that I mentioned, but it will also include office development and some residential, upscale residential development. And then, of course, our second biggest development will be Matthews Southwest at the corner of the Tollway and 380. Jack Matthews developed the big Omni Convention Center there in downtown Dallas, the big colorful building. And that same developer will develop a big mixed-use development at the northwest corner of the Tollway and 380.
All these businesses will continue to bring more population to Prosper, which leads to the need for new schools.
We work very closely with Brett Hankey and the folks at the high school, but then we also work closely with Dr. Watkins. Where we affect the school district is by what development we help bring, commercial development that is, to Prosper, which includes the stores, the offices that bring the employers for daytime lunches and so forth. So daytime employment is where we affect the school district.
Continued growth in Prosper will make our small town turn big. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Jordan Lewis.
When we come back, Jordan Lewis will talk about the weather around Prosper and the beginnings of El Nino, or the child if you're not bilingual.
Are you looking for drinks, candy, snacks, and spiritware? If so, the Eagle Shack is the right place for you. Don't use those old and out-of-shape vending machines. And don't even think about waiting those long lunch lines if you only need a snack. Here at the Eagle Shack, you will find everything you need. Open all lunches after school from 3:44 to 4 o'clock, before school from 8 a.m. to 8:25, and open between some classes. Support your Eagle Shack today.
It's the first day of fall and a strong El Nino is here. El Nino is simply warmer water in the Pacific Ocean near the equator. This is what causes our weather changes. It's likely to last through our winter and early spring. What does that mean for us? A wetter than normal season. Does that mean we could have more snow and ice during the holidays? I'll get back to you on that. For today, we will see a high of 92 and a low of 71. Thursday, we will see a high of 90 and a low of 71. And for Friday, we will have a high of 89 and a low of 70. I'm Jordan Lewis, and that's it for the weather.
Of the year for NHS will be held on Thursday at 7:35 and 3:50 in the LGI. All current members need to attend one of these meetings because officers will be nominated.
You still have an opportunity to order your very own Eagle Spirit shirts, including the American shirt, the homecoming shirt, the blackout t-shirts, and the forms can be found in the front office. The last opportunity to turn them in will be this Friday.
The limbo contest will start today during the lunch and run through Thursday. Winners could win $100 sponsored by Mr. Wright. Please see the Spirit Leaders students during the 3 lunches for the cafeteria stage.
The tennis team is selling homecoming mums. Order them anytime online or in the cafeteria on October 2nd, 7th, and 9th. Orders must be in by October 9th for delivery by the 13th at the high school. All proceeds benefit the high school tennis team.
Beginning Monday for 30 minutes before and after school, mentors will be in the professional library service as connection liaisons for those at PHS. It's a great way for you to meet people and get connected.
Gaming Club will meet this Wednesday from 3:45 to 5 o'clock in the library. Remember to bring a controller, your favorite game, and a snack.
There will be a Mu Alpha Theta meeting on Thursday, September 24th in Mrs. Wood's room, 11:32 after school. Current members must attend.
French Club will be holding its first meeting of the year directly after school today in the classroom 1112. Anyone who is there and interested is welcome to attend.
Listen up, everyone. Here's the dress code for the regulations on the Mardi Gras pep rally. Nike athletic shorts may be worn with brightly colored leggings. Leggings and Nike shorts may be worn with a tutu if that's what you're into, I guess. Leggings also may be worn with shorts, or the tutu must completely cover your behind. Mardi Gras themed hats are allowed, and masks may be worn before and after school, during passing periods, at lunch, and at the pep rally. But they must be taken off during class. Hair may be temporarily dyed a color, however, it must be out by Monday. Body paint is allowed on the arms, legs, and face for all you girls out there, as long as you are completely in dress code. All right, cool cats, that's the end of our show for you today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. For Eagle Nation News, I'm JT Graham.
I'm Shaznay Hardeman.
And I'm Ty Bowman. Live long and prosper.